And in that warehouse is every piece of art that's been done from Snow White all the way up to now. And it's all stored in this big warehouse, all temperature controlled, that sort of thing. And so it all goes into storage. For me, with my personal stuff, it all just gets stacked wherever I can fit it. Sorry, I can't hear very well. All the rumbling over there. How do I think about the anatomy? Well, I look at the real bird. In this case, this isn't too far off of what a real penguin is. A real penguin has got all the bird anatomy and then just a lot of blubber and feather to smooth it out. So it's nice. It's nice that way. But there's certain rhythms that you think about. So a real bird. You see this? A real bird that we're familiar with, usually has a beak that comes out like so. You got their head, their spinal column comes out of the back of their head, comes down, it goes into a rib cage, like so. They've got a pelvis. Their femur comes out here, and then their ankle, and then they sit like so. And then they've got their humerus up here. So their arms are like this. So this would be like a pigeon, a songbird, a duck, whatever. That's pretty much the shape. They've got a big sternum right here where all the chest of the pectoralis muscles to connect to so they can fly. A penguin is the same thing. And if you see this, the reason why you see the spine coming out like that, the vertebrae coming out like that, which is why, well, I'll show you in just a second, but a penguin is basically the same thing, except everything's down here, like so, and it's all just turned that way, and it's all stretched out. So when you draw the penguin itself over the top of this, what you end up with, you'll see when I draw him, he's got this head, he's got this little beak that comes out like so. And you don't see that, so you see that spine that comes out, that's why we get this extra shape that comes out. Plus he's got a lot of meat here, and you got the chest muscles that come off the the rib cage, which goes into his belly down here. And then his tail right here. And then you'll see muscles come in here, and then his feet right there. And then here's his arm. So there's your penguin right over the skeleton. Like so. And with a regular bird, it's the same kind of thing. They might have a tail out here, and their wings come in like this. Their knee is up here, hidden under their feathers. So you can see all of a sudden now that these are two completely looking animals on the outside, but when you start on the inside, they're really similar. They're just kind of shaped and morphed a little differently. Here you might have a raven or something like that, and here we've got a penguin. So that's what I love about comparative anatomy, because if it was a person, it'd be a person, sitting here like this. Can you see up here? I'm drawing. And then the neck coming here like this. Here's the rib cage. Here's the pelvis. Here's our legs, like this, and our little ankles here, and then our arms kind of folded up like that, with our hands right here. So it's all the same, you got all the same parts, just shaped in different ways. His head's gonna come straight up here. You guys have any questions for me, shoot. Scream them up at me, yell at me.
If it was like economically feasible and you had the time, would you go back to traditional animation?
Would I go back to paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think I still have intentions of going back and doing something on paper just for the look. But I want to do it in a way that it's really showing off the medium. You know, maybe something that's only in pencil and having some fun with it in that way, rather than trying to do something really polished in the old 90s Disney way. Do something that really embraces the medium of paper, even letting the crinkles come through, you know? Why not? I love the idea of it being handmade. That's the kind of thing I would love to do. And I've got there's an animated short that I'm working on right now called Snow Bear. And we've talked about doing a shot or two on paper, just so that we have the physical drawings. So we'll still do that probably too. But yeah, I would love to do something on paper. The same way you guys are familiar, have you seen Dear Basketball from Glenn Keane? There we go. I'm gonna have him reach up here and catch up to that wing beat, the way that arm comes up. Hammer or not. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a basic movement. Now I obviously could add more in-betweens to slow it down, to have it slow into a pose or slow out of a pose. But I think what we're gonna do now is I wanna have him, in my mind, let's actually do a shot. So here, he's looking off and something's caught his attention to look up here. He heard something up above him. So he turned his head to look up. What's up there? So he looks up, and let's say he sees something that surprises him. Something that scares him, surprises him. So he's gonna do a take. There we go, with my hand. Don't worry about your drawing being pretty. You always have time to go back and make pretty drawings. Make sure your drawing is dynamic. So I've got this squash, right? So now I want to get that baby to pop out. Way up. Here's the stretch. Here's the squash. Here's the stretch. Open that mouth up a little bit. Always looking for really clear, dynamic posing.